can get near it. Garcia Lane will run it back, though. Robbins misses him. And they get it out to the 41-yard line with 7 seconds left. 37-yard punt, a 5-yard return, but the big number there, the 8 seconds left in the half. Try one play, maybe a long out, and try to get it in range for long-range bomber Nick Lowry. He can hit it deep.
Sure can. One of the most accurate kickers long range that the NFL has ever had. This will make the Denver Broncos now play the defense pretty honest. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defensive backs, 2 linebackers, and 3 defensive linemen on the rush.
Todd Blackledge stands back in the shotgun at his 35. Looking long. He can fire on the run. He does. Gets a strike, and Anthony Hancock, in his wisdom, runs it to the middle of the field and runs out the clock.
Not very smart.
So that'll do it for the first half. And Reeves and the Broncos go off. Coach Reeves not overly thrilled by the first half happenings, but it is a 7-3 advantage. NFL 85 is coming up as Denver leading Kansas. Straight year. See what the Chiefs can get going in the second half. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. So far, though, the Denver Broncos have had 2 good drives. They scored on one, Trump, and then, of course, the Chiefs took away what looked like a touchdown with an interception.
John, you're absolutely right. It was an excellent drive, too. 13 plays, 85 yards, and on a little slant by Dennis Watson, you can see Greg Hill just time it right in front of Steve Watson. The only interception, actually the only turnover of the day by either team. So 7-3. The Denver Broncos do get the ball to start the second half, and I would imagine Dan Reeves had a lot to say to his football team at halftime. They've shown no life whatsoever in this first half.
Denver coming in, having been outscored 102-39 in the third quarter, but the big story is the Broncos have not scored a point in the third quarter in their last 7 games. They've not scored a touchdown in the third quarter in their last 9 games. Denver holding to a 7-3 lead. So the Kansas City Chiefs will kick it off. Back deep for Denver is Daniel Hunter, and also back with them is Vance Johnson. That's the man they'd like to bring the ball back to your left, number 82. Nick Lowry moves into the ball and hits it. Here comes Johnson. Flyer. Big open field play made by Kansas City. Coming down to make the play for the Chiefs was Mark Robinson, who made a couple in the first half also.
See the numbers there. The only turnover, the Denver Broncos interception at the end of that drive. Broncos had the ball for the vast majority of the first half, but Denver did not have a penalty. Kansas City did not have a turnover. And Denver's fighting the game that they have to win. Chicago beats the Jets. That's exactly what they wanted to happen. Now they got to play an excellent second half.
Denver needs to win its final 2 games, as you may be aware, and needs one of 4 other teams to lose its last 2 to get in. Throw to Winder at the 20. They're going to rule it a catch. Gain of 4 yards on the play.
No, there's no catch whatsoever. Field position in big games like this, even when you're struggling, fighting the psychology of the loss last week to the Los Angeles Raiders, any little thing is multiplied 1,000 times. And for the Broncos today, they've not had good field position. This time they start at their own 16. Doesn't get any better. Watch once again. Was it trapped? Looked like it bounced on the ground. Excellent call by the officials. 2nd and 10.
1 hop. So now the Broncos go 2nd down and 10 from their 16-yard line. Sammy Winder. Good cutback move, and he gets to the 20. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 6 as Eric Holly, the middle guard, 93, made the stop for Kansas City. There was a 5-yard gain on the play.
First half for Denver, they were just 1 of 6 in 3rd down conversions. Really not good numbers.
Watson coming wide to the right now for the Denver Broncos. They set up with 4 wide receivers on 3rd down and 6.
Kansas City showing blitz here, Don. Nope.
big defensive play by Duron Cherry. A perfect strike thrown to Watson, and Duron Cherry recovered to slap it down.
3 plays and out for Denver. A simple in pattern run by Watson. Greg Hill starts the coverage. Lets him go outside. This is that double rotation zone. Corners up, safeties out. Duron Cherry's got one assignment. Make sure the guy that comes in his area doesn't catch it, and he does it with a good hand slap to get the ball away.
So Chris Norman's on the field to punt again with 13:58 to play in the 3rd quarter. Garcia Lane ready to run it back now for Kansas City. Last time these two teams met in late October at Arrowhead Stadium, Broncos dominated, led 24-0, went on to win 30-10. Right now they're holding to just a 7-3 lead, and the Chiefs should get good field position here to start the 3rd quarter. Garcia Lane fields the ball at his 48-yard line, and so the Chiefs offense comes out. Just a 32-yard punt by Norman.
Todd Blackledge in the first half was 6 of 10. The Kansas City Chiefs rushed for 54 yards. They too had big problems converting 3rd downs. They were also 1 of 6.
Todd Blackledge not only grew to be football size, but he grew up in a football environment. His dad's one of the assistant coaches with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right now he directs his team 1st and 10 from the Chiefs 47. Good throw. Open is Stephon Page. Trying to move out on Harden. Harden gets him down at the 18-yard line. But Blackledge throws a strike over the middle, and now the Chiefs are challenging.
35-yard reception. They catch him in the blitz. Mecklenburg goes. He's picked up. Page really doesn't run a pattern, Don. All he does is go straight down the field. Watch. One little juke at Dennis Smith. Finds the seam underneath Foley, and then with great speed, Harden has to make the saving tackle.
Throws him with the stutter step. It's a 35-yard gain for Kansas City. Chiefs trail early in the 3rd quarter, 7-3. Pruitt, who's not carried in some time, gets ahead down inside the 15-yard line. Big back from Purdue gets 5.
Well, whatever was stated at halftime by the Denver Broncos coaching staff, it's taken a while for players to have it sink in. They did not look good in 3 plays and out on offense. Dan Reeves showing a little. He's upset. And I think he's upset at his team, not at the officials.
They lose and they're out. Doesn't matter what anybody else does. Denver's finished with another loss.
He's mad at his team. He's yelling right for the Denver Broncos huddle.
Blackledge on 2nd down. Big strong arm QB off the run. Broncos had it well covered. He was going on the play to one of his tight ends, Jonathan Hayes, number 85.
Now, when you notice the Denver Broncos, they look stiff. I mean, coming out in this 3rd quarter, they don't look to be very fluid in running it and warmed up from going in at halftime. Defensive linemen are not really running around. You can tell when they take those short, choppy steps that they're not really warmed up to play the 2nd half.
Anthony Hancock moves out on the right flank. On 3rd down and 4 from inside the 15-yard line of Denver. Blackledge ready to shoot from the shotgun. Rulon Jones got to him first, and then he swept under. Coming up to get him was Andre Townsend. Jones was the guy that forced the sack. He'll get half a sack.
2nd sack of the day for the Denver Broncos from behind the shotgun. Good pressure all over the place. Rulon Jones makes him step up. Townsend right there to receive the gift. That's a big sack.
Now Nick Lowry ready to try a field goal, which if he hits it, will bring the Chiefs back to it in 1. 41-yard field goal. He's hit the last 9 field goals he's tried this season. He's hit 22 of 25 for the year, and he's perfect again. Nick Lowry, who at first didn't succeed but tried again and again, and he's maybe the best there is. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui. It's sold out Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado, as Nick Lowry just hit a 41-yard field goal for Kansas City Now Nick is ready to let her rip again on the kickoff. The Chiefs back to within 1. Denver Broncos back under heavy pressure in a game they must win to stay in the playoff chase. Lowry hits a high spinner. Vance Johnson will take it at his 2. He breaks the crust. That's the deal. He's going the distance. Kevin Ross, though, came down to make the hit on special teams coverage for KC.
And I noticed as the Denver Bronco kickoff return team assembled at the sideline, Dan Reeves walked right in the middle of them, shaking his fist, yelling, screaming, and hollering, trying to light any fire underneath this football team that he possibly can.
In the first half, the Broncos had 2 sustained drives, with Elway hitting some big throws. The first on the 13th play ended with an interception in the end zone by Kansas City. Later, Elway took him down on the 13th play. He threw a scoring pass to Vance Johnson. 7-6 now is the score at Denver. Running hard. Trying to get some is Sammy Winder, who's out to the 32-yard line. Got just 2 yards against the Kansas City defense that really closed down the run altogether last week.
Don, I think once again Denver trying someone else to ignite. That time put Nathan Poole, a recent acquisition, into the ballgame as a lead blocker. He's now replaced by Vance Johnson again.
Denver in the middle of the National Football League in the offensive stats as a team, with 2nd down and 8 coming up. Elway gets time. He's running out. Swings it out. Winder takes a hard hit as penalty markers go down. Winder down at the 35-yard line.
I think we're going to have an illegal man downfield. Yep. I think it's Keith Bishop. One of the plays that the Denver Broncos used in the first half with good success was the screen. That time, Steve Sewell was held up to the point, Winder was held up to the point where he really couldn't get loose. Bishop comes off.
It was Dave Lindstrom, number 71, coming with the big rush from the outside that flushed the QB. Lindstrom in his 8th year from Boston College. They've had tremendous problems their defensive front. When they started the season, they had one of the best in football with Art Still and Mike Bell at the ends, and Miles at center.
Still 2nd down.
Was Keith Bishop. He goes to the sideline. Must have gotten the wind knocked out of him.
Good player, Keith Bishop from Baylor, veteran guard for the Denver Broncos. Now with the ball set back to the 21-yard line and the clock running, 10:38 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Broncos go 2nd down and long yardage. 2nd down and 18. Elway with a strike there, tight end Clarence Kay. He's ahead for a 1st down in Sonoy. Out to the 45-yard line of Denver. So they get the big hit as John Elway gets time and makes it go.
Clarence Kay's first catch of the ball game. And for the first time, there's some life now in the Denver Bronco fans. Elway with a lot of time. This is a 24-yard reception. Holly almost gets his hand on it. Big catch by Clarence Kay, and a tough guy to bring down. 2 of them, Ross and Radisick, and even Burris, before he finally hits the turf.
In the backfield, Calvin Daniels tries to make a play and cannot. But then the quick follow-up, and the knockdown is made inside the 45-yard line for a loss.
I'm going to tell you what, the Denver Broncos have had very little luck on 1st down plays today. Very little luck. Most of the day we've looked at 2nd and long, 3rd and long on just about every offensive set for the Denver Broncos.
Kansas City coming off a strong showing last week, out of the playoffs, but Coach John Makovic and his Chiefs would like nothing better than to knock Denver out too. At the moment, Denver's holding to a 1-point 3rd quarter lead, 7-6. Elway, a long yardage play, hits play, and Clarence Kay can't hold on at the 39-yard line.
Gary Spaney on the coverage. That's one that Kay almost had to get in the way of to catch. That was really rifled by John Elway. Spaney, who has been suffering quite a while with a bad hamstring. Good move by Kay. He's open, but that ball just is so quick when it gets there, he can't quite hang on to it. Here's another situation of 3rd and 13.
8:59 to go in the third quarter. Elway often likes Watson here if he can find him. Looking that way. Goes down the middle. Vance Johnson has the ball taken away. It's intercepted. Coming down with the ball was Sherman Cocroft. Spectacular play in the secondary. So another young defensive back for the Chiefs makes a big play. You'll remember Greg Hill's interception in the end zone that stopped a touchdown. Now Cocroft picks one off for KC.
This is a total zone coverage by the Kansas City Chiefs, and John throws it right where they want him to. See the underneath coverage, and also on top, Mark Robinson, Cocroft with the interception.
Kansas City Chiefs playing for pride today. They're out of the playoffs, as you know, standing tall in this game with another big defensive play.
Yeah, this is a place that they don't normally play very well. You said at the outset of the ball game that the Chiefs had lost 8 of the last 10. You saw the first down yardage there by the Denver Broncos. That's been the biggest part of their problem. And it appears to me the Denver Broncos are just out here waiting to lose. I mean, they just have no life whatsoever, Don.
Defense has to make something happen now for Denver. Blackledge and the KC offense set to go. Pruitt works hard to get 3 with 8:45 to play in the clock running in the third quarter. Denver scored at 1:14 to play in the first half to take a 7-3 lead after a first quarter field goal. And Nick Lowry gave the Chiefs a 3-0 advantage. Now it's 7-6 Denver.
Jim Ryan that time on the tackle with Carl Mecklenburg. Makovic likes his chances. I mean, 5 and 9 playing a tough team like Denver. Keep it close, kids, and at the end we'll try to figure out a way to win it.
That's what he has to do. Play hard all game long and see if something doesn't happen at the end. Blackledge, as they pick up a blitz, stands in, the big overhand throw, skips in, incomplete. He is a great-looking athlete, Blackledge, 6'4", 225, and he can run.
Yeah. Dennis Smith, the strong safety, he was right in Blackledge's face there. Usyk right into coverage.
Denver Broncos, as we mentioned to you earlier, had a Thursday meeting. Head coach Dan Reeves exhorting his team not to be down after the overtime loss to the LA Raiders. The team owner Pat Folin also encouraging his team. It takes some help from one of 4 other teams for the Broncos to get in. The Chiefs are giving Denver no help today, though. On the ground. Bree Hopper and Blackledge throws a completion upfield. Henry Marshall's in for a first down. He's been out with injuries, so Blackledge, high on the ball, scoops it up on the third bounce and drills an 11-yard pass for a first down.
Daniel Hunter in coverage. It looked like the center never really got the ball off the ground. That's exactly what happened. He never really got the ball off the ground, but Blackledge, a good athlete, gets it up. Henry Marshall's first catch since coming back from that separated shoulder. Chiefs have nickel and dimed it, but they've gotten it down the field. That's where it gets ugly right there.
Guys getting worked up now as the game is down to 8:03 to play in the third quarter. Swing pass to Herman Hurd. Moves in up to the 41-yard line. A gain on the play of 8 yards. Reuben Carter made the knockdown. Herman Hurd did well to keep from getting stopped at the line of scrimmage.
That's an excellent catch. Nice little swing pass. I think you could see number 50, Jim Ryan of the Denver Broncos, blitzing. And, of course, when that happens, then you've got a running back who is a hot receiver. There you see Ryan 50. Herman Hurd realizes he's the hot receiver there to make the reception.
Kansas City came into the game last in the National Football League in rushing, but cutting up their best running game, 164 yards. Now they move the ball out to their 44-yard line on the run. A second down and long 2 play, and it's good for a first down. Herman Hurd again, smallest back they've got, but he gets a lot of carries and gets a lot of yards. 7 minutes and 5 seconds to play. Makovic and the Chiefs have to be pleased with what they've seen so far, but they're down by 1.
You can see the Chiefs going into the huddle. They got a little activity. Broncos, when they go into their huddle, they just kind of waltz in there, stand in there, hands on hips, go to their spot at the line of scrimmage. That's basically it.
Speed on either flank now. That's Carlos Carson coming in motion. Throwing a curve at the secondary as he swings out and goes out downfield, and Blackledge takes it himself out to the 50-yard line. First down carry, good for 6. So it'll be second down and 4, and the Chiefs drive on, trailing 7-6 with 6:25 to play.
Tom Jackson on the tackle. As we've mentioned earlier, Blackledge at 6'4", 225 pounds, can take those hits when you run the ball. Very seldom see him do the hook slide. Here's Action Jackson, one of the inspirational leaders of this football team. He's got to do something here in the remainder of this third quarter and into the fourth. Do something.
Action Jackson. He'd play the Raiders every week if he could.
He can play, too.
13th year out of Louisville. Action Jackson needing the big play. The Denver defense needing one now. Kansas City moving the ball well. Here they come again. Another good block, and Herman Hurd is ahead to the 47-yard line. Bring up third and short yardage. Busick, an inside linebacker, made the stop for Denver. Joel Collier's been the defensive coordinator for a lot of years here in Denver. In fact, he's outlasted 4 head coaches.
Yeah, he's one of the real constants with this football team. And his defense not playing up to their potential today. This is a third down and short yardage situation, and Joe, I believe, knows he's got to stop this Kansas City offense, get the hand back in the hands of the Denver offense. As long as this game goes on and Kansas City can just pick here and pick there, they're in fine shape.
Their offensive line blocking well. See what they go to on third down and 2. Blackledge gets hurt. It's a first down. He fumbled the ball, but out of bounds. He had it for a possession.
No catch.
Now they're ruling it no catch.
He's got to have
a couple steps.
Yeah, he's got to have the ball with the second foot coming down. Once again, Busick 58's the man in coverage. 1, 2. Oh, I think that was a catch and a fumble. They ruled it an incomplete pass. 1, 2. He's got it. But the ball is bounced against Kansas City. Against the Denver Broncos. It is a fumble. It bounces out of bounds. But the officials rule it an incomplete pass.
So it brings up fourth down, and Jim Arnold will punt the ball now for KC. Tony Lilly drops back for the Denver Broncos, standing at his 10-yard line. 5:02 to play in the third quarter. Lilly lets it go in, and it does for a touchback. So the Broncos, with 4:52 left to play in the third quarter, and now have not scored in almost 8 third quarters. Dan Reeves and his Broncos under the gun now as the season goes down the stretch. Denver with the ball. Pitch back. No, Elway's going to run and shoot. Gets it to James Wright, but the stick is made right away. Deron Cherry, free agent, gained all-pro honors, came up.
Great hitter for the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Recognizes what's going on. You see Radisic and Cherry right there.
Really
Bill Moss comes from the defensive end to clean up, just a gain of 2 yards. Once again, Denver Broncos face 2nd and 8.
Denver's problems in recent games have been very basic. They've not been able to run the ball consistently. They've been under 100 yards rushing in 4 of their last 6 games. Raiders really closed down their run. Our throw off the hands of Vance Johnson at the 35-yard line. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBA. Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado, on a clear and cold December day. Temperature dropping, lights are on. Denver Broncos on their home field, where they've won 75% of the time under the regime of Dan Reeves, and they've beaten Kansas City 8 of the last 10 meetings here, holding to just a 1-point lead over the heavily underdog Kansas City Chiefs. Blitz, here it comes. Penalty marker down. A throw to Vance Johnson. Nobody gets in. Lloyd Burris might. He does.
That flag is going to be against Kansas City.
Vance Johnson, he's run the 40-yard sprint in under 4.3. Could not run a supercharged Lloyd Burris there. A 48-yard gain, and our penalty marker's down. It is against Kansas City, so the play goes.
You can see what Elway does, which is very smart. He's got a long snap count, and Kansas City shows its blitz, and everybody read it.
Number 30 on the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Mark Robinson was in the neutral zone, but everybody read it correctly. Vance Johnson ran the right pattern. Elway got it to him. A 48-yard pickup. Just what the doctor ordered.
They say chasing Vance Johnson's like chasing the wind, but Lloyd Burris caught the wind that time, but it is a 48-yard gainer. Broncos holding to a 1-point lead, 7-6. Go to the run. Winder gets stuffed by the middle of the Kansas City defense. Maz, Holly, and Koch.
Denver fans are not appreciative of that call. And Reeves trying to win the football game, not look fancy doing it. Struggling. See him just turn around there. I believe he was looking at Vance Johnson saying, "You all right? You all right?"
It'd be a lot better if they get in the end zone.
Really? In the third quarter.
Yep, they've not scored in 7 straight games. This is the 8th in the third quarter. And he scored a touchdown in almost 10 straight third quarters. Intercepted again. They get Elway a third time. That was Albert Lewis from Grambling with his 4th interception in the last 2 games. So now the Mile High crowd comes alive, and it's not a happy report for John Elway.
Eric Holly put good pressure on John Elway. He tried to make the play. Clint Sampson was the intended receiver.
Shootout. The Seattle Seahawks and the LA Raiders from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Start your day with NFL 85 and host Bob Costas as Ahmad Rashad profiles Marcus Allen. The in-studio guest will be a defensive captain from the Bears, Gary Fensick. They went to 14-1 today, beating the Jets 19-6. Steve Sewell gets the call out to the 25-yard line, and that'll do it for the third quarter. So again, Denver fails to score in the third quarter, but still leads by a point tonight. Denver futile in the third quarter in its last 8 games, and John Elway having a career problem with the Kansas City Chiefs. Career-wise in 5 games, he has 2 touchdown throws and 10 interceptions. 3 today, and the Broncos trail. The Broncos lead by a point, 7-6 as we start the fourth quarter. Steve Sewell sewing his stuff. He got to the 40, gain of 18 yards and a first down for Denver.
15 yards on the carry. Once again, Deron Cherry, safety for the Kansas City Chiefs, makes the tackle. Good job. Good double team block, but mostly the yards picked up by Sewell. Very quick-footed. Very quick-footed. Now 10 carries, 52 yards.
14:45 to play in the game. Clock ticking as the Broncos come out of the huddle. Clarence Kay, a hard blocking tight end from Georgia, goes to the sideline with a bad limp. Going to the big back. Steve Sewell slides ahead on first down, gets out to the 43-yard line. Comparative numbers through 3 quarters of play look as follows.
Pretty even. The only thing that doesn't show is the 3 turnovers by the Denver Broncos.
Story.
That has absolutely been the story. Did I see a stat? In the last 2 games, he's now thrown 6 interceptions. John Elway, 21 and 21 now. Touchdowns to interceptions.
Dead even. Broncos, though, up by a point in a game they have to win. 2nd down and 8. Watson turning back on the defense, gets ahead inside the 40-yard line of Kansas City. Took the cornerback Ross way down and then left him there with a turn-back move.
He has sneaky speed. He's on the outside. 19 yards on the reception. You see he pushes Kevin Ross off. Comes right back. Nice little hole in the zone. A lot more of that. Certainly helped the Denver Bronco chances in the fourth quarter. Maintain this 1-point lead.
Sampson now on the game set to the left. Watson at the top of your screen.
Fumble.
3 ball it is.
And
the Broncos got it back at the 38-yard line of Kansas City with 13:35 to play in the game. 7-6 Denver.
Watch, it looks like John Elway puts this ball too high. Yeah. And it also looks like Sewell may have gone on the wrong side. Here John Elway was surprised that when he turned that way, Steve Sewell was right in his face.
Chiefs have been perfect from a turnover standpoint, and they almost got a 4th from Denver. To go with the 3 interceptions of Elway. John Elway, a high flying out. The ball took off, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Lewis was right on Watson. I mean, there was no chance unless you throw it through Lewis to make that completion. out of his range. Has not had a kick this year farther than 50 yards.
If the Broncos can get in position and kick a field goal, it would force Kansas City to go the distance and get in the end zone, something they've not done yet. Field goal would give Denver a 4-point lead. Burris comes down with the ball. Is it an interception? It is. Number 4 as the Chiefs again pick off John Elway.
My goodness. One of the first things quarterbacks learn is don't throw the ball late down the middle. See that exasperated little sigh
by Burris, though, isn't it?
Dan Reeves. Elway basically has nobody to throw to. It's a plus when you roll. You stay away from the rush, but you only have half the field to throw it to. Burris, big interception.
Wasn't projected to be a close game, but it is, and the Kansas City Chiefs could be in position to go ahead if they can drive down the field. Trailing, as you see, Denver 7-6. John Elway victimized by 4 interceptions by the Kansas City defense. Home run ball. Anthony Hancock, one of the fastest people in football. But he can't get to it down at the 10-yard line.
Mike Harden in the coverage. You know that Blackledge can throw it long. He's also very accurate. A little move by Hancock. Harden's got a difficult time catching up to him. He looks stiff there, doesn't he? Harden, he doesn't really appear to be running very smoothly. You know, those interceptions thrown by Elway, they always hurt. But one came in the end zone. One came inside the 20-yard line.
And there were some spectacular plays in some of the interceptions. An over-the-shoulder catch by Albert Lewis. The most spectacular, a diving interception by strong safety Lloyd Burris. That stopped a sustained Denver drive. Blackledge on 2nd and 10. He has a problem. They get him. He did well to eat the ball. That is the 3rd sack of the Denver defense of Todd Blackledge. Greg Tragan was in along with Carl Mecklenburg, and Mecklenburg sets a team record for sacks.
Tragan flushed him. Oh, Mecklenburg always there as Blackledge is still down on the ground. There once again you see Rulon Jones lined up right next to Mecklenburg so they can't double team him. And once Tragan flushes him, Mecklenburg cleans up.
Jammed his right arm. Stops the clock with 12:38 to play. So Todd Blackledge being attended to. You see his numbers for the day, and perhaps the most important one, he's not been intercepted, while his counterpart John Elway has been picked off 4 times in this game.
There's Bill Kenny warming up on the sideline. He too is somewhat injured, got a bad back. He has a sore elbow. 3 or 4 weeks ago, he just said flatly, I can't play. I'm just too beat up. And he's a tough competitor. That has to take a lot for him to say that. Now, the NFL rules say that if the clock stops because of an injury, that player must go off the field. So at least Bill Kenny will have 1 snap, and we hope Todd Blackledge is all right.
Tough down, though. He comes in on a 3rd and 15. So without warming up, he's got to come in and put it up in all probability.
Blackledge does look all right. If you're John Mackovic, do you throw it or do you just run it into the line of scrimmage? Take no chances with a turnover.
And trailing in the 4th quarter, you throw it. In your own end down at the 27-yard line. We're all going to find out in a moment. 12:31 to play in the game. Denver holding to a 7-6 lead. Broncos led at halftime 7-3. Bill Kenny and the under warmed up earlier in the game. It hasn't in the second half. Long throw. He's got his man Carlos Carson for a 1st down. Oh, a consummate professional play by Bill Kenny, coming off the bench without time to warm up. First throw on a 3rd and 15. Good for 25 yards and a Kansas City 1st down.
From northern Colorado, he likes playing in this kind of weather. Watch him shake his arm a little bit just before he throws it, Don. Watch right here. See the way he shakes it a little bit? Kind of loosen up his arm, it looked like. That is a strike to Carlos Carson for 25 yards and a big 1st down. He remains in the game, too.
You were pointing out earlier, Trump, Bill Kenny, when 334 players were drafted in 1978, was the 333rd pick. Second back is Herman Hurd. And He cracks ahead for almost a 10-yard gain. He got over 9 on a first down carry, as the Broncos defense has given up some yards now, holding to just a 1-point lead. Kansas City with a very effective long-range kicker ready to come in if need be.
It appears Denver was late getting into the defense that they wanted to deploy. Carl Mecklenburg slipped just as the ball was snapped, and Hurd went through there. 9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1 for Kansas City.
Kansas City last in the NFL running the ball, but doing well, pumping it at a tough Denver defense today. Fullback Pruitt gets it. He's got a first down. They're going to spat the ball down to the 38-yard line. It'll be a first down where they mark it.
Well, what can Bill Kenny do when he's warmed up? He comes out there cold and throws a strike to Carlos Carson.
25 yards and 3rd and 15.
There appears to be some life in the Kansas City team now.
Todd Blackledge poked in the eye. Went to the sideline. First down it is for the Kansas City Chiefs. Nick Lowry, who likes pressure, will have some soon if this drive stalls. Very effective long. That's perhaps his strongest suit. 3-5 over 50.
Yeah. You can boom it. There's no question about that.
Temperature taking a drop here in the Mile High City as the sun starts to set. And it could be setting in the Broncos season. Kansas City can score and go on to win this game. The Broncos playoff chances are done. Over. Smith blitzes. Here's a throw. It's incomplete at the 16-yard line. It was heavy contact. Carson thought he was fouled. Official right there says no.
Mike Harden was the man who saw the ball coming. The receiver never saw it. I think he got away with one there. Just before that ball got to Carlos Carson, there was a collision, but the receiver was not looking back.
So this is the 6th play of the drive coming up now. Bill Kenny 1 for 2 since he came in. That first throw good for 25. 10 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the game. Denver 7, Kansas City 6. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy at Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado. Ethan Horton runs the ball. Number 1 draft choice from North Carolina. Has not run it well at all as a rookie. Yep, just 139 yards coming into this game for a 3-yard per carry average.
Mecklenburg on the tackle with Robbins on the assist. I'm telling you, that guy is everywhere. Once again, lined up outside Roland Jones. Kirkenhoff tries to stop him. Well, he has tremendous hand strength and arm strength. Throws off a lot of blockers just with a forearm shiver. Again, makes the tackle.
Now Bill Kenny will load up that shotgun with about 5 receivers running sprint patterns into the zone defense of Denver. Broncos showing blitz on 3rd and 9. Here it comes. Kenny takes a look. Lofts a long ball downfield. It's overthrown for Stephon Page. That brings up 4th down and long from the 37.
And I'll tell you what, too, Anthony Hancock was wide open over the middle. And is Nick Lowry going to try one?
We're talking about a long one.
It looks like they're going to try.
Jim Arnold, the punter, is his holder. Jim Arnold comes out now. They think the better of it, and he'll punt the ball.
Looks like about 54 yards. That's in his range. Oh, they're going to, excuse me. I'm looking at field goal kickers here.
Arnold hits it downfield. A lot of time left yet. 9:20 to play. Ball hops inside the 5, then goes in for a touchback, so the Broncos get it at their 20. But John Elway having his problems with Angeles, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Los Angeles Raiders, the team that came in here and knocked Denver on the ropes with an overtime win last week. Now Denver must win. Denver is holding to a 7-6 lead over Kansas City. But the Chiefs, without a touchdown today, are driving towards perhaps their first trip to the end zone. 3rd down and less than a yard for Kansas City at the 8-yard line of the Broncos.
Carson with 6 catches, 94 yards so far today. Again, the season with 200-plus yard games. Haven't had one since.
Denver fans start out. Pruitt's the power back. Arnold in motion. Pruitt, first down. He hits down to the 7-yard line. So the Chiefs get 4 new downs, and they'll go 1st and goal from the 7-yard line of Kansas City.
Music on the tackle, but Mike Pruitt at close to 235 pounds, a real load to try to stop.
Earlier today, the Broncos, who must win this game, got help from the Chicago Bears. They defeated the New York Jets 19-6 in New Jersey. As the Bears, perhaps on their way to New Orleans, are now 14-1 on the year.
That's a big part in the Denver Broncos' failure today. 2.1 yards per first down.
Kansas City scores and gets the extra point. Denver would have to score a touchdown on an extra point to win it. In the end zone, touchdown, Stephon Page. Blackledge in, arcing the ball, and Stephon Page, who caught 2 for scores last week, was uncovered. He was wide open.
Chiefs did an excellent job of running a pick right at the line of scrimmage. Watch Carson 80-80 on the outside, Page on the inside. That's all they're trying to do, is just run a little pick there. Dennis Smith slips Page his 11th career touchdown. 18th career touchdown.
And his 8th of the season. Not since the great Otis Taylor was catching balls at Kansas City. He had that many by a wide receiver in a season.
They have stayed with it, haven't they, these Kansas City Chiefs?
Got to admire the effort of the Chiefs out of it coming in from a playoff standpoint. Very heartening performance, though, as they've now conceivably could win their 3rd game in the last 4 tries. But we've seen John Elway have a lot more good games than bad ones. He's going to get another crack at it. Broncos need a touchdown as they now trail 13-7. 6:59 to play. Elway and the Broncos get it back when we... Broncos in this game, a very encouraging development for John Mackovic, the under-fire coach of Kansas City.
After John Elway's 5th interception of the day, count them 5, Kansas City Chiefs go 29 yards for their first touchdown of the day, lead 13-7.
John Mackovic and everybody in Kansas City got the same report on his future. Lamar Hunt, the owner, will review it after the season's over. Here is Vance Johnson breaking it. He's out to the 30-yard line. John Elway and the Broncos now come out on offense trailing 13-7 with 6:49 to play. The playoff picture. The Raiders hooking up with Seattle tomorrow. Doubleheader game on NBC Sports. Miami goes against New England Monday night. The Jets were beaten 19-6 by the Bears today. Denver Broncos have to win. Seattle very much in contention, but needs wins in its last 2 games. Of course, a 500 record could win the AFC Central. Cincinnati and Cleveland tied at the moment at 7-7. Elway, sure his confidence shaken by the 5 interceptions, dumps it off to Sewell, who's in open field, and Steve Sewell is ahead for a Bronco first down. So the Broncos get a 13-yard gainer on first down.
Here's the touchdown. Steve Kenny, an excellent, Todd Blackledge, an excellent throw. Page is wide open because Dennis Smith fell down. There's a nice little pick attempted by the Kansas City Chiefs, and they got away with it. 6 points.
Their first touchdown of the day didn't come till the 4th quarter. But with the good work of their secondary and 5 interceptions, they've made 13 points, stand now for a 13-7 lead. Draw to Sewell. He'll catch it. He'll run it from scrimmage. Game clock ticking down now to 6 minutes to play. That play gained very little.
That previous play, too, was a screen, a middle screen set up by the Denver Broncos that's had some success. And Reeves right now saying, look, we're going to go at this short. We're not going to try to throw the ball down the field. Just lay it off here and lay it off there. Try to get down for a touchdown.
Watson and Vance Johnson come wide left. Reeves moving in motion to pick up a blitz. Elway throws, and he's got Watson again. He takes his man deep and comes back with the ball for a first down to the 44-yard line. Clock runs. 14-yard gain for the Broncos.
Well, they've had good success with that play. There's really no jeopardy throwing it out there. Watch the move. Once again, Steve Watson, a good cagey veteran receiver, looks back like the ball's coming to him, and then a little shove. Well,
game clock running.
Sometimes the receiver gets away with that. Sometimes he doesn't. That time Watson won.
With Kevin Ross deep on that play. KC Corner's playing way off the Bronco wide receivers. Elway on 1st and 10. They pick up the blitz nicely. Open man is Vance Johnson. He has it down to the 16-yard line. The Broncos hit the big play and are now down 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 16.
Again, Kevin Ross, the man in coverage.
28-yard gain.
This is a nice slant pass. Sewell does a good job of picking up the linebacker, Radisic. Look at that, right on the money. And as he makes this catch, almost fumbles it. And he banged up his shoulder. Landed right on his elbow. There you can see him shaking it out on the sideline. That's the first 100-yard receiving day by a Denver receiver in 1985.
The Broncos have to get it in, and they have to kick the extra point. They trail 13-7 with 4 minutes to play. Elway again gets time up the middle to Sewell, and the Chiefs defenders get him down at about the line of scrimmage. Gary Spaney in the game makes the play.
No gain once again in the middle, screen to Sewell.
Second down and 10 for Denver. Underdog Kansas City in the lead late in the game, 13-7. Elway's thrown 5 interceptions. This time he has a hit to Sampson down to the 8-yard line. 7-yard gain, and the Broncos get close.
Ken Jolly on the coverage. Clock continues to run. This is certainly 2-down area for the Denver Broncos. Going for the touchdown, no question about that.
Dan Reeves and the Broncos have to have this game to stay in playoff contention. Have to win their last 2 and hope that either the Raiders, the Jets, the Dolphins, or New England loses its last 2. Pitch back, the ball, and Kansas City has it. Calvin Daniels comes up with the ball. A 6th turnover by Denver.
Dan Reeves absolutely beside himself.
That is a tough one for the Broncos.
A simple pitch back by John Elway to Steve Sewell. That's there, catchable, no problem whatsoever. It appeared that Sewell looked upfield. Daniels on the recovery. And the reaction of Dan Reeves. He doesn't know it's on the ground. Oh, no.
Like a punch in the gut of Dan Reeves. John Elway had been perfect on that drive. NBC statistician Joe Costanza pointing out he was 5 for 5 throwing the ball for 62 yards, but then a mishandle. And so Kansas City, holding to the 6-point lead, gets it back. 2:30 to go. Bronco defense called on now to get it for Denver. Blackledge goes to Herman Hurd. Hard hits by the Broncos. Woodard comes up, and so does safety Dennis Smith. Timeout is called
by the Denver Broncos with 2:21 to go. Very smart if you can use that 2-minute warning as the last stoppage of the clock before your offense gets the ball. They would at least have time to once again get the ball down the field.
2:21 left to play in the game. Bowl Day 86 coming up January 1, 1986, and there's some great games on NBC Sports. Leads off with the Fiesta Bowl, matching the Michigan Wolverines and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Then the attention shifts to Pasadena and the 72nd Rose Bowl, featuring Chuck Long and the Iowa Hawkeyes. They go against the defending Rose Bowl champion UCLA Bruins. Following the Rose Bowl, it's the primetime battle that will determine the national championship, as the unbeaten and #1 ranked Nittany Lions of Penn State take on Big 8 champion Oklahoma live from the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. All coming your way on New Year's Day on NBC Sports. Dan Reeves, in his 5th year as head coach of the Denver Broncos, has seen his team win at Mile High Stadium 75% of the time over that 5-year span. The Chiefs have won here only twice in their last 10 tries, but today, with a coach under fire in John Nakovic, Kansas City playing a big game defensively, forced 6 turnovers. And now they have the ball back, holding to a 6-point lead. Off the hands of Stephon Page. His last throw is a touchdown catch.
That actually did the Denver Broncos a favor because it stops the clock, and all they're interested in right now is enough time for the offense to get back on the board.
That's how it went. Vance Johnson got the Broncos their lead with an 11-yard reception, and then Nick Lowry with a 41-yard field goal got the Chiefs close. Then the throw to Stephon Page, and the Chiefs have the lead they hold now, 13-7, 2:17 to play. Blackledge at quarterback, 13 for 23, 150 yards, 1 touchdown, and he's not been intercepted. Rocky Mountain Thunder now. Foot stamping noise from the stands as Blackledge throws, and he's got Stephon Page out to the 21-yard line, short of a first down. 9-yard gain, but they're short. And with 2:05 and down to the 2-minute warning, Elway and the Broncos will get it back. So the 2-minute warning is given, and the Kansas City Chiefs will punt it when we come back to Mile High. BC Football is Ted Nathanson. Telecast of today's game has been produced by George Finkel, directed by John Gonzalez. NFL 85 produced by John J. Filippelli, directed by Bucky Gunts, technical directors Ray Figelski and Salvatore Nagita. We now have 2 minutes to go. Kansas City ready to punt the ball. The Chiefs lead the game 13-7. Broncos are coming with everything they've got. 10-men line up. They blocked 2 Jim Arnold punts, you recall, in the first meeting. They have been close today. Coming hard. Arnold hits it up into the arc lights. Vance Johnson will take it at the 41-yard line. A fair catch for the Broncos. And that's where they go from, at their 41. 1:53 to play, and they have to score a touchdown. 38-yard punt. Rump.
And they bring John Elway back in the ball game. Even with the 5 interceptions and the 6 turnovers by the Denver Broncos, he is their franchise, and they got to stay with it.
Won a lot of games for him, John Elway, and a lot of them in situations just like this. Got him down close to last drive, throwing 5 for 5 completions for 62 yards, but then a mishandled pitch. Steve Sewell lost the ball, and the Chiefs stopped that drive.
Chiefs now with 7 defensive backs, Don.
They're laying way back. There's going to be a lot of stuff underneath for Elway. He stands in, now fires, and he's got a man. Steve Watson still running inside the 35 and the 30, and Watson's down inside the 20-yard line. The prevent defense.
Yeah, what does it prevent?
Prevents you from winning a lot of times.
Watch Watson. 42 yards on the reception. He reads where the linebackers, or in this actual instance, it's defensive back Sherman Cockcroft, 22, with his hand out there, moves ever so slightly. Elway reads him like an open book. They were right on the same page for that one.
Now the ball is down to the 17-yard line of Kansas City. You'll recall it was down closer than this on the Broncos' last drive. They lost it, though, on a 6th turnover. Watson, 5 catches for 97 yards. Vance Johnson's over 100 yards receiving for the Broncos. It's all conversation unless they get it in the end zone. Play whistle dead with 1:41 to go.
Too much time.
It's Red Cashin.
Delay the game for the offense. Still first down.
So a tough down, 1st and 15, and the Chiefs with less yardage to protect now at their own end.
The Chiefs went right out of that prevent defense too. Now they have their standard defensive backfield, and they're just 4 DBs. Well, if the Denver Broncos pull this game out, they almost to this point have spit out the bit. It has been a real upstream swim for them all day long.
They're not done yet, the Broncos, as Elway sets in now behind his center with 1:41 to go. Look out, quick stop. Vance Johnson. He's down to the 10-yard line and out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:35 to play.
I'm sure when this game is over, if this is a scoring drive, the Denver Broncos will thank the Kansas City Chiefs for going with that prevent. Just a little drag pattern, they call it, run by Johnson, and then that speed gets him upfield. 2nd down and 2 now is a lot better than 2nd down and 8.
Prevent defense, the world's worst. Kansas City defense holding Denver to 7 points all day, but now with that 42-yard hit to Watson, the Broncos are challenging. They need a touchdown and an extra point. 2nd down coming up, 2nd down at about 3. Sewell turning up. Stuck and hit at the 8-yard line. He'll be short of the first down. It brings up 3rd down. Ken Jolly made the stop.
John Elway for the day, 21 of 36, 294 yards, but 5 interceptions is the big stat.
But he's not done yet. Carry on 3rd down and 2 yards, and the Chiefs think they stopped Denver. Denver would have another down, though, to go for it. We have 1:19 left to play in the game. Kansas City, a big underdog, leading Denver 13-7 in a game the Broncos must win. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy at Mile High Stadium. The lights on as darknesses fall now.
Well, because they're going to measure this, the clock will stop. Give the Denver Broncos a chance to regroup. This Kansas City defense has played very, very well, haven't they?
They stopped him on that play, but there's another down coming up for Denver. So in truth, the whole Broncos season relies on this play. They don't get there, and the Chiefs take over. They can run out the clock. 1:19 to play. If they do, and they take it in, and they kick the extra point, Denver could win the game. Game they have to win. 7-3 Denver at halftime. 7-6 after 3 quarters. Now it's 13-7 Kansas City. Elway looks like he's there.
This is going to be very close, Don. Very close.
He's there. Looks like the linesman's spot is there, so the Broncos get 4 new downs, and they'll go first and goal with 1:11 to play.
Watch again how good a job the Kansas City defensive line does getting underneath. And Spaney, Ross, everyone else helps. They didn't even measure it.
Heat is on in very cold Denver, Colorado. John Elway at quarterback. First down and goal for the Broncos from the Kansas City 7. Throw on a strike. It's right in. No, he's out, but he's just short of the goal line with 46 seconds to play.
This is absolutely an amazing set of circumstances. Ron Cherry again on the tackle. Nice little play action fake, but it really doesn't hold anybody, and then a real strike on right. Elway now at 300 yards, but as miserably as the Denver Broncos football team has played today, they're about a foot and a half from winning this football game if the extra point is good.
Kansas City might be better off if they got in a hurry so they can get the ball with some time. Elway does that. He's over the top. Is he in? No sign yet. And no sign to come as the snowballs start to come down.
No touchdown. No touchdown signaled by the officials.
That might serve Denver well, providing they do eventually get it if they can keep the clock running.
Most important play. Rich Carlos has missed 3 extra points. Once again, Spaney, an excellent job of stopping Elway before he gets in the end zone.
Spaney playing hurt, but makes a big stick there. Game clock ticking. 28 seconds to go. Denver has to score. Over the top and into the end zone for a touchdown with 22 seconds to play. So John Elway could be redeemed, sending Sammy Winder over the top. And it's a 13-13 game with 22 seconds to play, and the Broncos ready to try a point after.
I repeat, Rich Carlos has missed 3 extra points this season. Everybody will be holding their breath. No question about that.
8-play drive, 59 yards. The Broncos score on the drive they had to score on. The point is up. It's good. And the Broncos take the lead 14-13 with 22 seconds to play. If they can keep the Chiefs from getting the ball downfield and getting in field goal range.
Nathan Poole, the lead blocker. Winder takes off about 2 yards deep. Albert Lewis almost there to stop him, but the Broncos finally in the end zone.
And those last 2 drives, the one came up short on the fumble by Sewell, you remember. But on the last 2 drives, John Elway coming back from the 5 interceptions to complete 8 of 8 for 122 yards.
Isn't that amazing? I'm telling you, this kid is exceptional. And here's Dan Reeves' reaction. Up and over. Yes, sir. Finally.
Now Carlos ready to kick off. Let's see what he goes with. 22 seconds to play. Denver by 1. Hits it deep. High spinner. Anthony Hancock is cautioned to down the ball in the end zone, so the Chiefs take over at their 20 with just 22 seconds to get in field goal range for Nick Lowry.
Now you use the prevent, Don. Now you use the prevent. Let's see if they do. Chiefs also have all 3 of their timeouts left.
Turned out Elway had a lot of yards today. John Elway with 300 passing yards with 5 interceptions. Nick Lowry getting ready in case he gets a chance. Got to get it way downfield, though, and the Denver DBs playing 20 yards off the line. They'll be backpedaling like center fielders. Long throw, open man, but the ball is lost at the 40-yard line. Carlos Carson coming back at it. It's 2nd down and 10 for Kansas City. And no matter what the outcome, Trump, you have to salute the effort of the Chiefs out of the playoff picture. They played the game of their season.
And you also have to salute John Elway on the same day that he throws 5 interceptions. As you rightfully pointed out, in the last 2 drives, he didn't miss one. 8 for 8. When the chips are on the line, put it in that kid's hand. He can get it done.
Started out flat. Bears and the Jets was to be the big game today. This has turned into the thriller, though, at Mile High Stadium. Todd Blackledge, the quarterback, dropping back. Looks it downfield. Intercepted by Denver. Woodard has the ball, and he's cut down at the 17-yard line. The Broncos will win the game they had to win, and the Denver Broncos are still alive in the playoff chase.
Turnover of the day by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Blackledge forced to throw it deep into heavy coverage. The cold wind's blowing in his face. And the Broncos are there. Ken Woodard picking it off.
He's got 3 receivers over there. He's forced to throw the ball. He has no choice whatsoever. He didn't even have a receiver on the other side of the field. Woodard, the big play.
First of the season for Ken Woodard.
They're still alive. They're still alive.
Denver goes to 10 and 5 with 7 seconds to play. Stephon Page, the intended receiver, went down with an injury on that play. Nearly injured a leg. Todd Blackledge playing a terrific game for Kansas City. Going out to check his wide receiver, Todd Blackledge, putting up 25 passes, completing 14 for 159 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception on the tip ball.
When you read this score and look at the stats and the turnovers by Denver, if you've not watched the game, you'd swear it was snowing a foot deep. But I'm telling you,
it's cold here in the Mile High City.
Denver Broncos, they've never played a football game, down in my estimation, where they had to work harder for less.
Well, they go home to the fireplace. They lose this one. The Broncos are still in it. John Elway ready to kneel down and kick it off. That's it. The Broncos rally and come back to beat a very game Kansas City team 14-13. In some quarters, the Chiefs a 2-touchdown underdog fighting all the way. But Dan Reeves and his Broncos prevail, and they march on, hopefully, in their opinion, toward a bid to the playoffs. Now for Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui.